morning. Welcome to our E3 Weekly Market Report. We're having a little delay with USDA posting the details of our export report, but we do have the headlines. So we'll continue to see if we can get the details up. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and comment on the numbers, and forgive me as I refresh this, but we want to continue to see it as the actual breakdown comes up. All right, looking right now at the cotton numbers that came out. Cotton was the 2015, 2016, 900. That really seems awfully big. You just please bear with me, but this cotton number looks like a corn number. I'm going to read what's on the screen, but I really doubt this is right. I'm showing numbers coming out for cotton, 908,800 bales. Really? We'll get the breakdown eventually here. We'll continue to refresh it. The market was up 17 at the time it came out. Stay with me just for a moment. The market was up a small amount. Before the number came out, it's still up a small amount. Let's go on and look at some of the other numbers. We've got the, and not everything is even posted yet, but the corn number is 426,300 just for the 2015, 2016 with no breakdown. Still I don't have it updated. In that report, we were down 2.5 before this came out. Now we're down 2 3/4. Looking at wheat, the wheat number was 282,800. The wheat market was down 3.5 before this came out, and now it's down 4 3/4. Searching for the soybean number, here it is, 1.32 million tons for 2015, 2016 in soybeans. Soybeans were unchanged. Now the market's down 2.5. Really? All right. I still do not, as I go to FAS website where we always get our updates, I'm still not getting it updating the current report. We've got headlines. So anyway, that's what's coming out on the headlines across the screen. We've got 908,000. That's just not right. Forgive me. I know I seem unprepared, but believe me, I'm just looking at what's coming out here. And so I'm sure we'll get some a breakdown, and we'll continue to look at the government site to see if we can find that. Before we go on, I'll try it one more time. All right, well, let's go on. Crop progress came out on Monday. Cotton good to excellent, 52% was unchanged from the previous week. Specifically looking at Texas, in the good to excellent was 41%. That was a slip. It had previous week had been 42%. Cotton bolls open 57%. The average normally is 61%. Harvested cotton 7%. The average this time of the year is 9%. Soybeans in the good to excellent category improved up to 63% good to excellent. Previous week was 61%. Soybeans harvested 7%. The average normally is 7%. Corn good to excellent 68%, and that's unchanged from the previous week of 68%. The winter wheat planted 19% planted versus the average of 20%. So let's see one more time, and we'll freshen. Still don't have the government their site updating this. So let's talk about another subject here, and that is Are agricultural markets reaching bottoms? Have we already reached a low in the case of grains? And are we close to a low in cotton? And let's just go over a few things. Let's talk about first the seasonals. And we talk about this all the time. This is the time of the year when you normally see a seasonal low in grain. It's typically toward the 1st of October. But in a short crop, that can happen earlier. And I think that's probably happened. That market in the case of soybeans actually bottomed about 2 weeks ago. In the case of corn, we bottomed there about 2.5 weeks ago. That's not unusual when you do have a crop, a smaller crop than had been anticipated. You will bottom earlier than that. So that's one thing. Cotton market, the seasonal typically is in the last half of November, so we haven't hit the seasonal there yet, but we have gotten really cheap in prices, and it could be with other things going on, we might be very close to a bottom. It could drop some more, but at trading at 59.70, I don't know that we've got a lot of downside. Market reaction to global news. Something interesting happened yesterday. PMI manufacturing number in China came out, and it was not a good number. It showed a slowdown, and with that, the commodity markets did not sell off, which was very, very unusual. A few weeks ago, the markets would have crashed, and we did not yesterday. So that's another sign that maybe we're getting past some of this. Another thing about China, there have been some analysts that are thinking that the Chinese stock market, the challenges they face, the downward markets we've seen there, sharply downward, are very close to being over. China's internal growth numbers are actually very strong. It's their external that's had problems. Consumption still is very good in the country, and I think that bodes well for agricultural markets, the things they eat, the things they wear. We're still seeing good consumption there internally. And the final thing is, and we mentioned this a little bit, it's about fund buying. The commodity funds are just not there like they used to be. Ultimately, even though we could be bottoming and everything, it's probably not going to have the same amount of rally we might have seen at one point, but it still doesn't mean that we're not very close to a bottom if we haven't already seen it. So just wanted to go over that. We're checking one more time. Still looking at the market to see if we've got anything happening with our numbers on exports. Actually, it's still showing the same thing, very large numbers, but we're really not getting a reaction in the markets for these large numbers, and we're not getting from FAS online, we're not getting updates. So that's really sort of out of our hands as far as that goes. We are getting the headlines. We're just not getting the breakdown to see who's doing the buying. So there could be, based on the size of these numbers being in some cases outrageously large, that these numbers aren't right, that what's coming out is not correct. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll try to post on our site later maybe some news on this. So sorry for the confusion, but that's it. That's the E3 report for today, and we hope that you'll join us later today for our afternoon update, and in the afternoon update we'll be able to clear up some of the confusion over these numbers that were supposed to be coming out. That's it. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you later.